So can you really call this Titans episode 1 season 2? Because most of this episode was supposed to be the first part of the first season finale of Titans. So Titans Season 2 Episode 1 was released, and it had a whole slew of new and old things that we need to talk about, like Deathstroke, Raven trapping her father, and the new Titans. If you want to be kept up on the latest episode of Titans Season 2, make sure you subscribe to the channel and also tell me your thoughts on this episode. So the last season of Titans ended with Rachel letting her dad into our world, before sending a message to Hawk and Dove for Robin for help. Trigon is now in our world, and he's in his human form, and needs to break Rachel's heart in order for her to come to his side. Once Hawk and Dove gather Jason at Wayne Manor, they head back to Rachel's home, and Starfire and Donna Troy are still trying to find their way into that barrier. Now Trigon of course wants them on his side and under his control, so he lets them in, luring them in so he can take control of them, and puts them into those same world that Dick Grayson was in when he killed Batman, which he didn't really kill Batman, it was really just in his mind. Now we see similar things happening to the other characters like Hawk and Dove, Donna Troy, and Starfire, all giving into their inner darkness and being trapped and being under Trigon's control. Now what happens eventually is Raven's heart does eventually break after seeing Beast Boy die, so she thinks anyways. He doesn't really die. This lets Trigon take over her heart and kind of do that same thing that you saw in Once Upon a Time, where the evil witch would go into someone's chest and take out a heart. That's basically what Trigon did. Now this is the key to bring himself more closer to the versions that we know of Trigon in the Teen Titans cartoon show and other iterations like in the comics. But if any of you know anything about the gem in Raven's head, you know that it holds Trigon. So once Garth breaks Raven free from Trigon's control, and of course the other Titans too, she battles it out with her father in a very quick scene that has little to no real action, but a lot of CGI, that results in Trigon being trapped in that gem in Raven's head. Now after all this happens, the news crew comes and we get that scene that we saw in the trailer where Jason Todd goes on camera and says Titans are back. Now this is kind of the gateway for Deathstroke to see that the Titans are back, and it seems that he's like a shopkeeper or something. Deathstroke in this timeline apparently is retired, but after seeing that scene on TV with Jason Todd saying Titans are back, it seems it kind of snapped him into existence basically. It seems like he wasn't 100% there, and it seems that he is back in business. He's probably going to be hunting the Titans. Now we will most likely learn about the back history of Deathstroke with the other Titans, the first Titans, later in the season. We also get some scenes from the trailer that we saw with Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson talking, and it seems that these scenes were about Dick Grayson coming to terms with Bruce Wayne. This whole season there has been this struggle with a lot of blame being thrown at Bruce, and it seems that Dick Grayson is now letting that go and coming to terms with Bruce and basically freeing him from the weight that's been on him this whole season and past season 2. And of course at the end of the scene he asks Bruce Wayne for a favor, and that's a new base for the Titans, and we get this shot at the end that kind of pans out and we see a building. I was very disappointed in this. I honestly thought it was going to be the Titans Tower, the T-shaped Titans Tower, and most likely that is a nod towards that. I think they really expected a lot of people to hoping that would happen. I think it's kind of a setup for that, so I think eventually we are going to get the Titans Tower later on in the season, or maybe even the season 3. And that's where the episode ends. Now one thing I have to say about this episode is that the tone and the overall enjoyability of the episode was a lot better in the later half of the episode. The beginning first half was honestly boring. It reminded me of season 1. I did not like season 1 at all. I thought it was a horrible show and I didn't enjoy it at all. But once it got to season 2 with Deathstroke and the new base and new characters and all that great stuff about season 2, that's when I was enjoying it a lot more. It's just the first half of that episode was just boring. Even the CGI and just the look of the episode was so dull. It was pretty boring and I just didn't like it. But of course, later on it got better. But what did you think about Titans Season 2 Episode 1? Thanks for watching my overview of Titans Episode 1 Season 2, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.